So, tonight I will be talking to you guys about family and medical leave. My name's Dan Klasky, and I guess the fundamental question around family and medical leave is what happens to an employee who suffers a personal or medical emergency and is then forced to miss an extended period of time at work. Now, the Family and Medical Leave Act was a piece of legislation signed into law by President Bill Clinton, February 5th, 1993. And what it is the first federal legislation that legally requires employers to provide employees with protection. Now, as an employee, there are a few requirements that you must meet first. First, you have to be employed for 12 months at the same job. In that 12-month period, you have to also work at least 1,250 hours, and you also have to live within 75 miles of 50 of your coworkers. Now, not everyone is eligible to receive coverage. Those who do not receive protection by the FMLA are part-time workers who work less than 1,250 hours, those who work for a company with less than 50 employees, having an ill elderly parent or a pet at home that's sick, and a few other things, falling a little behind. The FMLA guarantees certain rights to employees, including 12 weeks of unpaid leave per 12-month period, the right to return to work with the same or equivalent pay, title, and benefits, and you can choose to break that time up into sick and vacation days. The most common reasons for taking a leave of employment are personal and family illness, family military leave, pregnancy, adoption, foster care, and something called locus parentis. So the first one is personal illness, and that's when you, the employee, are physically ill and you cannot perform your duties or responsibilities at jobs. Now, this isn't saying that if you have a cold or a headache when you wake up in the morning, you can just miss work. It has to have a certain degree of seriousness to the illness. The next one is family illness. Now, family illness is very similar to personal illness. It has to be a spouse or a child that is sick that you have to stay home and take care of. There has to be a certain degree of seriousness to that illness as well. So if, little Tammy's not feeling good in the morning and she don't want to go to school, you have to make her, and then you have to go to work, which kind of sucks. And most importantly, we are working to change the meaning of the word family. Right now, family only includes either your spouse, your parents, or any children. But on the state level, there's been more legislation introduced to change the meaning of the word family. Now, the next one is family military leave, and that's another aspect of the FMLA. It covers active duty, veterans, and those in the reserves, including the National Guard. And what it does, it provides protection for those people and also their families as well. More specifically, the FMLA provides protection to employees whose spouses, children, or parents get deployed. Employees are provided with 12 weeks of unpaid leave. Camera just fell over. And except if you're a caregiver, then you get 26 weeks of paid leave. Now, there are 7 ways to qualify for family military leave, and that is first, short-term deployment. Then there are military events and activities. Then there's child care and school activities, financial and legal obligations, counseling, a little R&R, my favorite, and post-deployment activities. The next qualifier for protection under the FMLA is pregnancy. Now, you might be wondering what pregnancy is. Pregnancy is when you are getting ready. It's when you are getting ready to give birth to another smaller human being. Now, in the United States, new mothers aren't compensated for the most part at all for their pregnancy leave. Now, compare that to the rest of the world. Most women receive nice paid leave so they can stay home and not worry about paying the bills at the end of the day. Now, another controversial aspect of the FMLA is maternity leave for men. Now, this is kind of a new thing. My dad didn't get it when I was a kid, so tough. But more and more men are staying home to help take care of their newborn children and also provide support for their spouses. Now, the next topic covered by the FMLA is adoption and foster care. Now, new parents are awarded 12 weeks off within the first year of the placement of the child, and sometimes one parent can qualify for adoption leave, which means that the other might have to inquire or apply for maternity or paternity leave. Now, for adoption and foster care, employees are also guaranteed 5 days to attend any meetings that have to do with the placement of the child. The leave can begin up to 2 weeks prior to the first day of placement. And unfortunately, like maternity and paternity, this is unpaid leave. Now, locus parentis is the last topic covered. Pretty much what this is a step-in parent. It can be an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, or a family relative. There's no legal or biological relationship required. And it's pretty much anyone who steps up and assumes the role of parenting. Now, the parameters of locus parentis depend on the age of the child, their physical or mental state, the degree of dependence on their new caregiver, and any financial responsibilities that have been taken up. And I guess the last thing I'm going to leave with is the F in FMLA stands for family, and I think, more recently we're doing a better job of adjusting what that word means, but we still have to work to, empathize and understand all families in the country, not just, mom, dad, and 2 kids. So up next is Chandler. Hold on to your socks, guys. He's going to blow them off with a presentation about tuition reimbursement. Let me just gather my things.
Okay, so tuition reimbursement for all you guys that are looking to further your education after your first 4 years, with your job, you want to pay attention to this. So tuition reimbursement programs are a valuable benefit to employees, which allows some college tuition costs to be reimbursed by your employer. Reimbursement can cover tuition fees and books. This benefit provides a way for employees to further their education or upgrade their skills at a reasonable cost. So a 2013 study showed that approximately 60% of employers offer tuition reimbursement to employees, and 88% of human resource managers found tuition reimbursement to be a useful tool in retaining employees, and 66% of managers said it was the most persuasive recruiting tool. So more stats, 61% of employers require employees to have been working for them for at least 16 months before they're eligible for tuition reimbursement. 87% have restrictions, that is, the course must be related to the job you have, and 92% of the courses have grade requirements. Poor grades, you don't get any reimbursement. So the majority of large companies offer tuition reimbursement programs. Some of the most generous are right there. Starbucks provides free online education to full and part-time workers, which is rare. Usually part-time workers don't get any. AT&T offers $20,000 for courses leading to undergraduate and $25,000 for graduate. So the tuition reimbursement cycle, first the employee submits an application listing the courses to be taken, the credits to be earned, and the name of the university. The application is approved or denied by the employee's direct supervisor, and then the human resource manager, and then the letter of approval goes to the employee. The employee takes the approved course. When the course is completed, the grade and the receipt of the cost of the course is submitted to the company's HR department for payment. Most companies reimburse based on the letter grade earned. The higher the grade, the more money you receive. So then the next one is the amount the human resource department then makes a determination as to the amount reimbursed due to the employee. A check for that amount is usually issued immediately, although companies may hold payment until the end of the year. If the university posts grades in late December, it is not likely that reimbursement will be received in the same calendar year due to end-of-year accounting workload. So the first condition on reimbursement is your grades. Like I said, many employees have scale grade requirements for compensation. 100%, an A equals 100% reimbursement, a B is 90, C is 80, and under C is usually no reimbursement, but plans vary depending on the employer. The second condition is the course that you're taking. Most employers require that the course be useful to the company in some way. This ensures the company is paying for skills and information that they can use. For example, a teacher can take a course to become a principal. However, accountants at a large accounting firm will not be reimbursed for courses in like chemistry. So the third condition is cost. Employers have an annual cap on how much money they will spend on tuition for each employee. This varies per company. And the IRS only allows a company to write off $5,250 per year for each employee for educational costs. So this is often the cap placed on your reimbursement. And the last condition is that companies will often require employees to stay on the job for 3 to 5 years after accepting tuition reimbursement money. If the employee decides to leave after 5 years are up, they have to pay back the company for the reimbursement. And some companies withhold reimbursement for up to a year to ensure that the employee doesn't leave. So there's also a lot of benefits to the employer to do this. Employees stay with the company to show it cares about the employees' future by contributing to their education. Since it often takes many years to complete a degree on a part-time basis, employers are pretty much guaranteed that the employee stays on board while pursuing their degree. Now, also companies who offer tuition reimbursement see fewer employees leave the company. Because employees stay, the cost of searching and hiring and training new employees drops by a lot. In addition, higher productivity is a natural result of lower turnovers, as better employees naturally do their job more efficiently. Benefits like tuition reimbursement will lure top talent to a company. Employees with the drive to pursue further education while working full-time are the kind of employees a company wants to have. In addition, a staff that is always upgrading their skills is a plus for any business. So recommendations for creating a tuition reimbursement program are that first you want to consider the user. Remember that most tuition reimbursement goes to younger employees who may have little experience filling out forms or maintaining financial forms for reimbursement. Someone should walk the employee through the process the first time. And second is the time frame. Make the tuition reimbursement year end when the university year ends in May or June. This avoids having all paperwork due in December when the accounting department is the busiest. It also shortens the time employees will have to wait for reimbursement after completing a course. So then third is to use the 50-50 model. If a company offers reimbursement dollars in the fall semester, the employee may not attend the spring semester, but wait until the fall again to be eligible for another windfall from the company. To prevent this, split the total reimbursement amount in half, offering half in the fall and half in the spring, and this keeps the employee making steady progress towards a degree. Maximize tuition dollars with online education. Because online education is so affordable, its use means that employees can wind up with total reimbursement for tuition costs. To make employee education even more affordable to the company, some companies join a $99 a month online subscription program to allow employees to take basic college courses. Spread the knowledge by sharing what employees have learned. Once a course is finished, the student can teach skills, share knowledge, and motivate coworkers to begin or continue the pursuit of higher education. And some companies have special days where all employers who receive tuition reimbursement get together and try to motivate others to do the same. So some last things to keep in mind: even companies that have no written tuition reimbursement programs may offer benefits. The benefits may be up to the manager by case-by-case basis, so when you're in doubt, just ask. And tuition reimbursement over $5,250 is considered taxable income by the IRS, so it must be reported on your tax returns. So now I'll hand it over to Mike, who's going to talk to you guys about employee incentives and bonuses.
What's going on, guys? So, as he just explained, my name's Mike. I'm going to be talking to you about what incentives are and what bonuses are, the differences, the positive and negative effects that they have on an organization, and the importance of them. So, incentives. What are incentives? Incentives, the definition is a thing that motivates one or encourages one to do something. It's a payment to stimulate greater output or investment on an organization. This is not going to just be limited to money. A simple example of an incentive could just be something as generic as a thank you from your boss or a reward. nice job, anything like that. Another example could be a day for employees where there's a catered lunch